Benny the Bear's Bedtime Routine. Deep in the heart of a peaceful forest, where the tall trees whispered secrets to the wind, lived a young bear named Benny. Benny was a big, fluffy bear with a soft brown coat and a curious mind. He loved to explore the forest, climb trees, and play with his friends all day long. But there was one thing Benny didn't like very much: bedtime. Every evening when the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Benny's mom would say, "Time to get ready for bed, Benny." But Benny always groaned in protest. "But Mom, I'm not sleepy," Benny would insist. "There's still so much to do. I could climb one more tree or play one more game or—" But Benny's mom would shake her head and smile. "Rest is just as important as play, Benny. When you get a good night's sleep, you'll have all the energy you need for tomorrow's adventures." Benny didn't understand why he needed so much sleep. To him, sleeping seemed like a waste of time when there were so many exciting things to do. But despite his protests, Benny's mom would always gently guide him through his bedtime routine. First, they would have a warm bath which helped to wash away the dirt and sweat from Benny's busy day. The warm water felt soothing, and Benny enjoyed splashing around in the tub. His mom would add a few drops of lavender oil, which filled the air with a calming scent. After his bath, Benny would brush his teeth. His mom had taught him how to brush every tooth carefully, making sure they were all clean and shiny. Benny liked the minty taste of his toothpaste and the way his teeth felt smooth afterward. Then Benny would put on his soft, cozy pajamas. His mom always made sure they were freshly washed and warm, especially on chilly nights. As soon as he slipped into them, Benny felt a little more relaxed. But Benny's favorite part of his bedtime routine was story time. Every night after he was all ready for bed, his mom would tuck him in with his favorite blanket and sit beside him with a storybook. She would read stories about brave bears, clever foxes, and adventurous raccoons, and Benny would listen with wide eyes, imagining himself in each tale. The stories made Benny feel safe and happy, and soon his eyelids would start to droop. His mom's voice was soft and comforting, like a lullaby, and before long, Benny would be fast asleep, dreaming of his own adventures. One day, after a particularly long day of exploring, Benny decided he was going to skip his bedtime routine. "I'm not tired at all," he told himself, even though he could feel his eyes getting heavy. "I'll stay up all night and play." So when his mom called him for his bath, Benny pretended not to hear. He skipped brushing his teeth, left his pajamas on the floor and climbed into bed without even asking for a story. But as soon as Benny lay down, he realized that something didn't feel right. Without his bath, his fur felt itchy and uncomfortable. Without brushing his teeth, his mouth tasted funny. And without a story, the room felt too quiet and dark. Benny tossed and turned, trying to get comfortable, but he couldn't fall asleep. He felt restless and grumpy, and no matter how much he tried, sleep just wouldn't come. The next morning, Benny woke up feeling tired and cranky. His eyes were heavy and his muscles felt sore. He didn't have the energy to climb trees or play games with his friends. All he wanted to do was lie down and nap. When his mom saw how tired Benny was, she gave him a gentle hug. "You didn't follow your bedtime routine last night, did you?" she asked softly. Benny shook his head, feeling a little embarrassed. "I thought I didn't need it, but now I feel so tired," his mom nodded. "Our bedtime routine helps us get ready for a good night's sleep. When we skip it, our bodies and minds don't get the rest they need. That's why it's so important to take time to wind down and relax before bed." Benny thought about what his mom had said and realized she was right. He missed the warm bath, the clean feeling after brushing his teeth, and the comfort of his cozy pajamas. But most of all, he missed the stories that made him feel safe and happy before drifting off to sleep. That night, Benny decided to follow his bedtime routine again. He took a warm bath, brushed his teeth, and put on his soft pajamas. When it was time for story time, he listened eagerly as his mom read a tale about a brave little bear who always got a good night's sleep before his big adventures. As his mom's soothing voice filled the room, Benny felt his worries melt away. He snuggled under his blanket, his body relaxed, and his eyes grew heavy. Before he knew it, Benny was fast asleep, dreaming of all the fun he would have the next day. When Benny woke up the next morning, he felt wonderful. His eyes were bright, his muscles were strong, and he had all the energy he needed for a new day of exploring. Benny realized that his mom was right. Rest was just as important as play. By following his bedtime routine, he gave his body the rest it needed to stay healthy and strong. From that day on, Benny never skipped his bedtime routine again. He knew that by taking the time to wind down and relax, he could wake up each morning feeling refreshed and ready for anything. And so, Benny the bear learned the importance of rest and the joy of a good night's sleep. The end. Always remember, my friends, rest well tonight, and you'll be ready to conquer tomorrow's adventures.